Rolf Stommelin was unlucky in the Division 1 race. He collided with Bob Wallach just after the start and needed a pit stop to change a tyre. Bob Wallach wasn't so lucky. He retired on the spot. John Fitzpatrick in the Barber Porsche took the lead, and both Klaus Ludwig, throttle, then engine failure, or Jochen Mass, with another engine failure, were unable to respond. Only once had the race had some excitement, and since here too the race had to be red flagged and restarted, the minimum distance was not reached. Ralf Dieter Schreiber was courageous and started on wets, and he led the field for 13 laps, from lap 3 until lap 16, but then the track was dry again and the Group 5 cars took the lead. But among them was no longer Rolf Stommelin. He tried to compensate for the lost time in the pits and left his braking point on the wet track far too late and crashed his car. And that was the end of the Stommelin-Jost liaison. Just like Plankenhorn and Kremer, the split was taken to court. With Stommelin out of a drive, it was up to Hans Stuck and Klaus Ludwig to close the gap on Heyer for the championship. Stuck picked up 15 points in Norisring, but Ludwig came away with nothing after his failure. Wallach also, too, came away with nothing. Luckily for them, Heyer, with his spectacular crash, had gained no points in the big race at Norisring. Next up was Salzburg in Austria. Division 1 was an exciting race. John Fitzpatrick was soldiering on, but his engine seemed powerless against the liqui-moly car of Winkelhock. His engine oil spread all over the place as well at the beginning, the victim being Klaus Ludwig, who had to come in and get his windshield cleaned. The Maurer car of Franz Gerschwendner, excuse me if my pronunciation is bad, also had a big blowout mid-race, spewing smoke and obscuring drivers' vision at a very fast corner. The track, after being covered in oil by Gerschwendner's car, forced some foolhardily brave marshals to take to the track and try to grit some of the road that had oil spewed on it. While cars approached at racing speed, a few yellow flags to hardly warn them that people were on the track. Luckily, the marshals did the job and got out in one piece. Manfred Winkelhock, new recruit for the Jost 935, was smoking in the last laps with his engine about to give. Miraculously, and a testament to Porsche and Jost's engine reliability, he made it to the end to take the victory. Other than that, Bob Wallach for Jello came in third, followed by Volker Merl, while Klaus Ludwig finished fifth, a lap down after going to the pits and getting his windshield cleaned. For Division 2, yet again Hans Stuck and Hans Heyer missed a qualifying session in favour of a pro car race, so Harald Oertel got pole as expected, with Austrian Will Siller next to him in a 1979 Schnitzer BMW. Stuck and Heyer were way behind, courtesy of the weather during their only qualifying session, especially Heyer after having his troubles trying to get a brand new car after the Norisring accident working in the rain. It became worse and worse in the race. Right after the start, the Lancia pitted to get a spark plug replaced. There were more victims of lap 1, Stuck's front spoiler and the bodywork of Walter Brunn, while Wolfgang Baller was shifted into the emergency exit of the Nox-Stein-Car, with dire consequences. Oertel had a trouble-free run, not hampered by the spray of the wet track, and was comfortably ahead, but 5 laps before the end, a water hose came loose. It became really clear that the Capri was dying in the last lap, so Stuck played all or nothing and turned up the boost to regions where no human had been before. It did the trick, Stuck just being able to pass Oertel before the end of the race, with Niedwitz a distant third. Hans Stuck's luck was finally turning, and now he was turning into a real championship contender to challenge Heyer for the title. Ertl was also rewarded with good points after a brutal early season filled with many failures. We were now past the halfway point of the DRM Championship, and it seems like the title fight is still up in the air. We'll see how it goes next time at Deepholz.